A very warm welcome we bid to each and every one of you. Selamat tengah hari. Happy afternoon to all of you guys and welcome back to a brand new week, a brand new episode of Act Now Hot Issue. What's for lunch? Mio Adlan here as always, coming to you live wherever you're watching us, whether it is from your mobile phone screen, whether it is from your desktop, whether it is from your laptop, whether it is from your Switch, your PS4, PS5, whatever devices that you're using. Thank you so much for watching us right now live on the Act Now Trooper page. Dan kita juga ingin mengucapkan kepada anda semua, because why? It is also very important to you as well. Happy first day of school. A lot of people are all excited sending their kids to school. Siapa yang budak-budak baru masuk standard 1 tu, comel sangat kecil-kecil bawa pergi sekolah tu kan. Must be a proud moment where you're able to actually send your kids to school, being it the first day of school sesi 2022-2023. And yeah, to all of you others, welcome back to the traffic. Welcome back to the congestion that is having. Yalah, kalau dah ada musim sekolah, mesti ada traffic jam yang bertambah-tambah lagi. Yalah, campur bas sekolah, van sekolah and whatnot. So hopefully you guys are, keep calm and keep cool and keep collected, because why? We are very much still in the first quarter, almost at the end of the first quarter of 2022. Also, make sure you guys download our Act Now mobile and community app on the Google Play Store as well as the Apple App Store for you to, be a much more diligent, lebih prihatin. Masyarakat lebih prihatin terhadap community anda. It's a free download. Just check it out and go and be a much better person. Okay? Not that you're not good, but yeah, just make it a tad bit better. Alright, today kita akan, orang kata apa, we will be conducting, as always, lately, that is, for our Monday issue, which is YB Sehari. Yes, YB Sehari is back. We took a week off for YB Sehari, but we're back with a very, very charming fellow, a very, very competent candidate, a very intellectual one at that, and he's going to be talking about, what he wants to do for his community, for his place, that he is not wanting to represent down the road. And of course, I will not do this alone. Before we invite the guests onto the show, I would like to invite our YB, self-elected that is, Mr. Melvin Lam. Hey Melvin, what is up?
Hi. I was so happy just now. I thought you introduced me as charming.
That one I tolak tepi dulu.
I say, what happened to you?
There you go. What happened to me, right? How was your weekend, Melvin?
It could be better. I mean, I told you, something sad happened. I lost one of my baby. It's my arowana that's with me for years. He actually, he's in heaven right now.
All right. He's definitely, I mean, the fact that he's now in a better place, I think, yeah, we we hope that he is in a better place right now, and
Yes. Yes.
let's cheer things up a bit. I mean, like, yeah,
Okay.
it
Yes.
is
We
Monday
have our
anyway.
guest from far, far away today.
Exactly. Yeah, from far away. Exactly. So let me do a bit of an introduction. Fellow Malaysians out there, our fellow beloved viewers, tahu tak sebenarnya kita sebenarnya bukan saja ada semenanjung Malaysia, tapi kita ada Sabah dengan Sarawak juga tau. Why am I
Yes.
saying all of this? Because sometimes people who are living in the peninsula of Malaysia, we tend to forget that we also have our brothers and sisters over there on the island of Borneo, representing the great state of Sabah as well as Sarawak. And that is why we want to highlight today, because our guest is so far off from there. Kalau naik flight, I think it's about what? 1 hour-ish to the city of Kuching. I think dah lama tak naik kapal terbang lah. I pun tak pasti. But whatever it is, he's actually from Kuching. But he's not representing Kuching. He's representing somewhere else. To know more about this fellow, as I said, a very charming, a very well-educated person. We love to have him on the show. Ladies and gents, allow me to introduce to you Mr. Jeffery Ngui. Hey, Jeffery, what is up?
Hi, Jeffrey. Welcome.
Hai, terima kasih
Ah.
sahabat-sahabat saya di Semenanjung. I'm from Sarawak. Yeah, but I tak tinggal di atas pokok ya. I have my own.
No, I mean, like, no, I mean, seriously, Jeff. I mean, like, usually when people talk about, I come from Sabah ke, I come from Sarawak, do they actually say those kind of things? Oh, awak duduk dalam gua ke? Awak duduk atas pokok ke? Do they actually say those things?
I think for the past 20 years, yes. When you travel to Peninsula or you travel to Singapore or whichever places, right? They always mention they always will have a thoughts that, are you from Sarawak? Then you are from Kota Kinabalu, is it? Kota
Ayo.
Kinabalu is in Sabah, it's not in Sarawak.
Okay.
And they don't know anything about Sarawak. If you mention about Kuching or Cebu or Bintulu, they don't know anything about it. But luckily today, thank you for the social media, for the expansion and the advancement of technologies. Yeah, the awareness is there already, and everyone knows about Sarawak. Yeah,
Especially the kuih lapis, warna one.
yeah.
That was
Kuih lapis, Sarawak laksa, all of those famous delicacies in Sarawak, and you should try it.
Jeff,
fact, I
one
had
thing,
this
if you
kuih
want to talk,
in my fridge.
yeah, I mean, Melvin, sorry, if you want to talk about Melvin, you have to relate to food, then he can identify the places. That's the easiest way for us to connect each other. No, but in all seriousness, that's the great thing about Malaysia, regardless of whatever state that you're from, Sabah ke Sarawak ke Kelantan ke Johor ke, we are blessed to have all this special kind of food from different parts of the world. And yes, Sarawak is definitely well known for its Sabah, for its mi kolo, laksa Sarawak, and then the other kuih lapis, and so on and so forth. So it is definitely a pleasure to have you, Jeff, on our show, and really a bit of an eye opener, at least for me personally, to know more about the people of Sarawak, how you guys are doing over there, and what are the things that you would want to do in regards of making Sarawak first and Malaysia a better place for everyone out there. Before we go deep into our conversation for YB Sehari today, Jeff, please introduce yourself properly and tell us a bit about yourself. Silakan.
Okay. Thank you, my kawan-kawan from Semenanjung. And of course, thank you, Ekmal, for giving me opportunities to be on the show today as your YB Sehari. And also, I will say hi to my kawan-kawan at Tupong and my Dun here. I'm your YB for today. And I'm Jeffery Ngui. I'm from locally Sarawakian. I'm from Kuching. And of course, I was locally and I was raised in Dun Tupong. Right? For this year, I'm reaching 42 years old this year. Right, so I'm 42, reaching 42 already, and my background, I'm a graduate from UNIMAS, and with my degree in computer science and multimedia. And currently, I'm focusing on my own business, which is in brand activation and event management. I've been doing this since 2007, and also I'm married with 2 kids. My son, primary 4 this year, and my daughter, primary 2 this year. Yeah, and also selamat kembali ke sekolah untuk anak-anak dan pelajar-pelajar di kawasan saya, Dun Tupong.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
that's all for
Yalah,
me.
sebab kalau Melvin, kalau cerita pasal anak-anak Melvin suka lari dalam rumah, suka duduk dalam aquarium, itu Melvin lah. So that's the different kind of talk that we can actually talk
sorry.
about. So, yeah.
Jeffrey, I think you're 42 this year.
Yes, 42.
I think the air and the food in Sarawak is good.
Why?
You look so useful. I never thought. I thought you would be early 30s the most.
Early. Wow.
Ah,
Thank you for the compliment. I should feed
so
you a big bowl of laksa later on.
as I was saying, you hutang Melvin, Jeff, actually a big bowl of rasa Sarawak and then a sepotong kuih lapis to
Yeah.
feed Mr. Melvin Lam over here. So Jeff, you said that you're originally from Kuching, but you
Yeah.
are raised in Tupong. So again, pardon my ignorance. I mean, like, I know as many people may say that if you talk about Sarawak, you know about Kuching, you know about Miri, you know about Bintulu, but Tupong is something that may not be as familiar as all of the other cities. So talk to us a bit about where Tupong is and what Tupong is all about.
All right. Okay. Actually, for Sarawak, right, the demography is a bit different, and it's a bit special compared to other states. In Sarawak, we divide each kawasan into divisions like
Mhm.
Kuching, Sibu, Bintulu, Miri. But don't forget about that. For kawasan Dun, we have 82 duns. We
Mm.
have 82 duns for Sarawak, and Dun Tupong is one of it. And Dun Tupong is still considered under Parliament Putrajaya. And for most of us, it is under Division Kuching. So we have four main divisions. In each divisions, we have multiple parliaments, and we have lots of kawasan dun, which
Mhm.
compile the total of 82 kawasan duns in Sarawak. So Tupong is just a kawasan. A kawasan based, we name it based on dun. Tapi for local Sarawakian, right, we never say, oh, asal dari Tupong, saya dari mana-mana. No, we never mention about that.
Mm.
We never mention about we are from Dun Tupong or Kawasan Tupong, seldom. But we will say we are from Kuching, we're from Matang, or we're from Kota Samarahan.
Oh,
Yes.
just like in Colombo, we have 11 uh, constitutions. We have Cheras, we have Bukit So Tudong, am I right to say it's part of the
It's
Kuching
Tupong, it's not
city?
Tudong. Tudong tu you tudong
Tupong,
nasi,
Tupong,
Tupong.
Tupong. Okay, is it part of the Kuching city?
Yes.
Okay, all right, all right.
Okay, and just to give also people a bit of an idea, in regards of its constituents, people from Tupong, Dun Tupong, how many do you have over there in regards of rakyat?
Pardon? Mio?
In regards of rakyat, your inhabitants, people from Tupong itself, how many? I mean, like how many people are there in Dun Tupong?
In Dun Tupong, if I'm not mistaken, based on the previous data from PN Sarawak last year, it's around 20 plus thousand for Dun
Okay,
Tupong. Right?
for Dun
And of
Tupong.
course,
All
for
right.
Dun Tupong, is created since 1987. I think for the first creation is 1987, if I'm not mistaken. And the how to say the composition of the rest here, the bangsa-bangsa here is mostly Malay Muslim majority, and it is consists of mostly from middle class and B40 for Dun
All
Tupong.
right. So Don Tupong, basically, like you have mentioned, I mean, like it consists of working class people,
Yes.
middle class to lower. I mean, like these are the heart and soul of Malaysia, basically. I mean, like these are the working force who make things happen out there in wanting to have a better life and having a great life at that. All right, so let's jump into our so-called chat or interview. Interview nampak macam formal sangat kan. So let's have a chat over here. You said it yourself. I mean, like you're born in Kuching, but yeah, you were raised in Tupong. Is that one of the reason or the only reason why would you want to contest or why would you want to represent the people of Tupong, Jeff?
Thank you, Mia, for that question. Tupong, and to be specific, I live in Matang. Matang is under Tupong as well. So Taman Matang Jaya or Jalan Matang is a very big, is a huge neighborhood with a mixture of races. Semua bangsa live together here in harmony. Of course, I raised here. I have a special sentiment as my late father bought the first house here. As before this, you know that in Sarawak, right, we have a tough life. And myself, I've grown up in B40 family. We are being living as a nomad before. Sebagai golongan nomad, we move here, move there because we rent houses, right? So the final spot that my late father decided to settle down is Matang, and which is located in Tupong. So yeah, this is where I was raised. And this is the place I graduated as a Unimas graduates. And this is the place I started my business. And this is the place I married to my wife. And this is the place I have my two kids. This is the place I built my family here as well. So I have the special sentiment here. I will not go anywhere. I will not move away from Tupong, from Matang, as this is where I belong. And if I would be given a chance to contest, right, definitely Tupong will be my first choice. I want to contribute back to the people that I know. I want to contribute back to the society, to my neighborhood here. I know I'm being contact, or I know them for the past 20 over years already. So this is where I should provide my service for.
Oh, cakap dah memang macam seorang wakil rakyat sebenarnya dengan penggunaan perkataan dan juga penyampaian dia. I have to say I'm quite impressed with what I'm actually drawn to what you have just said. It's about that. It's about family. It's about coming from where you are from, building a place right there, tanah tumpah darahku literally for you, making sure that you have your roots there, and not just that, and make sure you grow as big as you can because of the people that you know. These are the people that you know, that you're in touch with, that they have a place very close in your heart. Melvin.
Right. So I think both of us share the same sentiments. Like I say, I brought up in an area here. My office is here. I say the blood actually flows in every corner of this constitution. So for the last 20 over years, I'm sure you see a lot of developments. So what are the issues that or things that you like to highlight in this program that you might like to see some improvements or some changes?
Okay, thank you, Melvin, for that questions. For Tupong, right? Tupong previously is a place that I think no one want to move here, because it's a quite I think it's a semi-rural area, right? So I think we don't have much facilities here, shopping malls or commercial areas. We don't have it 20 years ago. And the housing here is very, very cheap. That's why my late father afford to bought one. I think for single stories, I think corner lot is cost about 150,000 only, and 20 years later today, it costs about 600,000 for single story house corner lot. Right. So what happened within these 20 years, or for the past 20 years, the development is being rapidly poured in, and I mean the funds, the money poured in by developers and poured in by the state governments to develop things that they want, to build the mega infrastructures, to build bridges. All those things comes in because of a business opportunity and the opportunity to gain profits and to make money. That's how this place grown from for the past 20 years. And what are the side effects from here? There are lots of villages, the kampong, right? And some are squatters, right? Squatters. And most of the kampongs, the villages, and the squatters, they are having difficulties to catch up with the pace of growth. It's too fast for them for the 20 years, right? Because to catch up, you need to prepare yourself in terms of educations, your skills, your everything, right? So if you can't catch up on that, I mean the software part, if we have the hardware only, then most likely a big segments of the communities will be sacrificed, right? So this is what happened today in Tupong. A lot of out from Tupong's communities or business persons flowing in to set up their business base here, and they purchase houses here. So which creating the price spikes for all housing, commercial areas, shop lots, all price increases already. And for the locals here in Tupong or in Matang or Kampong Kita or whichever places they are, especially for the villages, they're having hard time to get an equal opportunities to gain something from the development. If they are selling cucu pisang, now we have a lot of franchise already, a lot of franchise like bubble tea, whatever, cucu pisang, cheese, whatever, a lot coming out already. What about the gerai that's selling the cucu pisang 20 years ago, right? So they can't fit into the current environment. they can't fit into the current economic model, which is created, I think, unplanned or accidentally, because it's not very planned here. So yeah, that's what happening here in Tupong. It's not very planned, and everyone is trying or struggling to catch up with the pace. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I do want to ask you, you said it yourself. I mean, like, progress, modernization. When it came down to Sarawak in totality, coming down to Tupong, to be more specific, you said it yourself that people of Tupong. I mean, again, when we talk about people of Tupong, you're talking about people from Gita, Sungai Tengah, Rahmat, Sinjan, Sejoli Paro, all these places. They were not ready. They were not I mean, like you said, the hardware was there. I mean, like, in a analogy type of way, but the software is not there. They were not ready to embrace it as best as they could. Why do you think this was? You said that it was because of lack of planning. Boleh tak you explain sikit kenapa orang tak boleh nak terima modernization ataupun all of this new things that easily, Jeff?
Thank you, Mia. It's not about they are not how to say, they are not ready to adapt those things. It's about they are not given an equal opportunities to be part of it. That's all. Because why? Because we have multiple developers or multiple mega development flowings in, like a new satellite city, like Metro City, new township, and all those things. When all those new areas being created, the only business or micro business operators that filling in is from outside. It's not from the Tupong community themselves. They are not given the equal opportunities for that. And another thing is, they are not how to say, they can't afford it. As I mentioned just now, right? The price, everything is different already. It's not for local. Previously, 20 years ago, one single unit house here is single story 150,000. Now it's almost 600,000. Imagine how can they afford? They are still living their own life in the kampong, in the village, in the squatters. So they can't afford to fit into the new business opportunities. Then how can they be part of the development and to enjoy the benefits from the development, right? So it is impossible for that. So the only beneficial for those developments is only from outside franchises, maybe for other new township like flowing in to gain business opportunities. That's all.
I,
Okay.
I guess it's the case of the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. I think, if I understand correctly, for the last 20 years, I think the education opportunities for the Campo folks, for their children, I think was not there, reaching out to them. Otherwise, 20 years later, the children will grow up and probably, if they're well educated, they have been trained, probably they will have the better earning, higher earning to face a new development. But now it's just like, all of a sudden, I mean, being a commercial, and it become commercial, your area, people start to develop, the so-called tauke come in and start to have mega projects, and the opportunities only arise for those people outside the constitutions. So what would you suggest to improvise their livelihoods, this B40 group?
Yeah, Melvin. I think for the past 2 months, we have start our movement in some squatters and some kampong. So what we have noticed is that for the villagers in the kampong or squatters, they are trapped in the cycle. They are trapped in the cycle. So in the kampong, the villagers there, I think they are trapped by 3 generations. Since the Datuk Nenek, they came into the kampong, right? I mean, for the squatters, they are there because they can't afford to rent or buy any house in our dune here. So they built a house, right? They built a house, illegally own the land, right? So the first generation was there, and they work as a cleaners or some daily paid jobs. So the second generation, meaning to say the son, the daughter, the anak, everything, of course, they don't have the time to think about their future. They don't have the time to think about what they want to do with their educations. would they like to further their studies or become a university graduates or become a teacher, engineers or doctors in the future? They don't have the time to think about it. What they need to do is after my school, I need to spend my time with my daddy, my mommy on their daily job. Maybe some of them are selling kueh mueh, some of them are doing cleaners. Then they'll bring their kids together for the cleaning task, for the cleaning jobs. Then goes to when they grow up, they will get married in the kampong as well, in the squatters as well. Then they will give birth to their children, everything. Their children will be raised in the kampong, in the squatters as well, right? And they will be trapped there. They will not have any equal opportunities or any further imagination to be someone out from the kampong or out from the squatters to be an engineer or be to the CEO of a company. They never dare or they never dare to think about it. What they want to do is just help their parents in the kampong, in the squatters. That's why they're trapped there generation by generation, and the problem never being solved because there are no solutions provided for those kampong and squatters yet until today. That's why we are trying to bring in some value. We are trying to help them. We are trying to further their studies, even though some of them, right, they are suspended from school already because I think due to some reasons. So we are trying to relocate certain kids there to vocational school, and we are trying to get some free tuitions for them to educate them to know that to let them know that they can do better than this. If they want to get out from this cycle, they need to further educate themselves. Education is the power, right? They can get up. They can get out from this poverty. They can bring better life for themselves and maybe for their next generations, so that they won't trap in the same cycle again and again. This is what we are trying to do for now.
Ya, memang tak dapat dinafikan sebenarnya when you talk about education, it is actually key, it is fundamental that anyone should not be excluded from having proper education, and it is something that we need to pride ourselves in. Kita memang kena betul-betul ambil serious tentang perkara ini, because why, at the end of the day, if you don't have education, then you are stuck, as you mentioned, Jeff, you're stuck in this circle, you're stuck in this cycle that you can't seem to get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
And then generations and generations, it will still be the same thing all over again. And it is something that you are definitely, having that motion, having that desire to break that chain and break that cycle for the betterment of the people over there. Okay, education is one thing, but obviously when you talk about, lifestyle, when you talk about having a better life moving forward, you've definitely heard from the people of Tupong what are the kind of things that they want, they need, not just what they want, apa yang diorang perlukan sebenarnya, what they need in order for them to be better in their life. So what are the cries, or what are the concerns that has been voiced out by the people of Tupong? Jeff?
Thank you, Mia. For the people of Tupong, I think it's quite similar to other constituent, the two parliamentary as well. So what they want, I think I cannot voice out on the majority voices, but for the persons or the communities that I met before this, across multi races like Chinese, Muslims, Malay, and Dayaks, what they want is very simple. Back to that origin, food on table, daily living. That's all. They don't demand for any master plan to build a greater Tupong or advanced Tupong or smart city or something, or sort of a great manifesto. They don't hunger for that. What they want is food on the table. Please give me an equal opportunity to run my business so that I can pay my bills, pay my loans, pay my house, pay my cars, pay my children's education, continue my living. That's all. Most of them that I met is voicing the same concerns, just like certain policies like MX63 or oil royalty, whatever. We do some surveys among the communities. And one of the answers they threw to me is, okay, let's say we get the oil royalty and we restore MX63. So what will we get? We get nothing from there. Today, I'm selling vegetable here as a hawker or whatever. Tomorrow, after we get the oil royalty, we restore everything from MX63. I will be still here. I will still selling my vegetable with the same profit, and my business won't increase because of that. You see, so for them, they are quite, I know, maybe quite disappointed about they are not putting a lot of hope in the policy. You see, the policy is for the long term. Yes, we need great policy, a greater manifesto for that. But for the local people here, what they need is a short-term plan. What can they gain from the shorter plan? Yeah, instead of talking about the greater visions, the greater development, whatever, which won't benefit them straight away. Yeah, so these are the concerns from them. Bread and butter, back to the origin.
Melvin?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, at the end of the day, it's great to have a visions, but what important is that to fill our stomach, the children's and all those things. I from what I heard, Jeffrey, I think I mean, I hope that the government or the YB that yourself one day could provide a venue for these small business, micro businesses of the locals, give them special preferences, and then probably even subsidize the rental, the operation costs, seed more scholarships for the children. There is, I mean, governments or private sector, they have scholarships. I mean, to educate, to improve the education level of the children. So, and also bring hopes to them. I mean, it will be a more like a visionary that why it's important to have a proper family planning. Because I do know what you have said just now. I was thinking back in the 60s, 70s. That's my area. This was the time I was born. And those
This
days,
is slowly Melvin just mentioning his age lah. You know, Jeff, just
no,
understand that
I'm
lah.
happy to have. I believe Bukit Bintang also serve good food and air. That's why I'm. But in those days, honestly, people in the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s are more in this part of the world in Peninsula is also very concerned about food on the table every day. They say, "Oh, what's my children going to take doctorates, become an engineer?" It's not. It's just like for me, yes, the basic education. After that, what you do? What can you help the family to bring in income? You go and work, and you bring in. I mean, every month you will give your parents and all these things to share the cost of the household. So I think I hope it will change because, as what Mil say, Sabah, Sarawak, and Peninsula should be one. We should enjoy together the economy together. All
Yeah.
right.
Hence why it is being actually moved in Parliament right now. It's being tabled for Sabah and Sarawak to being represented 1/3 of the seat of Parliament, the 222 seats. Sabah and Sarawak are striving to get their word out, making sure that they are being represented at least 1/3 of the Parliament. Due to the fact that Sabah and Sarawak is so big, it's so
Yeah.
huge. Sarawak is the biggest state in the country, and yet it's not being treated as such. Itu yang kadang-kadang yang menyedihkan sangat kalau kita cerita tentang kemajuan yang berlaku di Semenanjung Malaysia versus di Sabah dan di Sarawak. Jeff, asking you another question. We've mentioned about education already, and then we've also mentioned about economy, wanting a better life, wanting to lead that life in a much better way moving forward. What are the other concerns that you would want to bring up to the people around because of the needs of the people in Tupong? Is it health? Is it infrastructure? What would you want to bring up?
Yeah, in Tupong, the rapid growth, as we mentioned just now, for the past 20 years, is very unplanned. And that's why we have a serious traffic jam in the morning and during I think, after office hour. And that, like this morning, if the school reopened already, right, you will have a massive jam. It's very congested because there are too many housing area here. I think, yeah, a lot of housing area here, a lot of cars, but the road, everything is not properly planned, and we have a lot of roundabouts, but we don't have how to say, the proper traffic diversions from the authorities to handle all the traffic jams here. So this is first thing that need to be solved. Another thing is low water pressure. Right?
Oh
Since
dear.
you know, right, what Tupong or Matang or Parliament Putrajaya is been here for quite some time already, and we have scattered developments which is not properly planned. Meaning to say, we have aging water pipelines, aging already. The pipes all aging, rusted, right? They are rusty already.
As old as
That's why,
Melvin, I think. But yeah, okay.
yeah,
older.
right. The water pump, I think better than Selangor, right? We don't have water
No,
pump.
no, no. Don't talk water to Selangor. Okay, Selangor very allergic when it comes to water. Okay, we are one of the most advanced state in the country, but yet we still, tabur apa bubur baldi. Okay, don't talk about water Selangor. Sakit hati aku.
Back to Patraja and Tupong, right? We have water. We have stable water supply, but the problem is the water pressure is too low, and sometimes the water become very dirty, very yellowish, like Tesi Pang, like Tesi ice. Sometimes because a lot of dirt being built up inside, muds, everything built up inside, and there are no proper routine maintenance being going on. They're supposed to flush everything from time to time, 1 or 2 years, but I can't see anything happen. Even though at my own taman, I need to call them because the water is become very dirty. And inside your washing machines, right? You're washing a lot of clothes, laundry things. Then you see the water become the testy ice color already. How
Or
would
the
you
white
feel,
linen
right?
become a brown linen.
Yeah, become brown. Then the water that you consume every day, right? Got sand, got passe, everything inside. So it
Ah,
will destroy your kidney for the long term. So I complained to them. They came to flush for the taman. But what happened to other tamans here in Tupong or in Putrajaya? If they
which
don't call,
Majlis is this? Under which
pardon?
Majlis? Yeah? Which local
Mine
councils?
here is Majlis. We got two councils here. One is a DBKU, Dewan Bandaraya Kuching Utara. One is MPP, Majlis Perbandaran Padawan. We have two. So in the middle here, in the intersection, we have two Majlis Perbandaran. So yeah, they are quite responsive. When you call them, they will come. But this is not what we want, right? We want some a
Proper
routine
maintenance program.
maintenance, yeah, a proper plan maintenance programs, because the water is already low pressure and dirty. Since Sarawak, we have a lot of reserve funds. Why don't we slowly replace, right? We replace all the water pipelines, create a better how to say water quality for the people. Else this will develop into further crises like kidney issue or maybe health issue. Then we should know that nowadays, I think we can mention some like water filtering machines, right? It's very affordable, maybe 88 ringgit, 118 ringgit. I cannot mention the name, right? Else they will need to pay us loyalty, right? So for those drinking machines, only those that afford to buy it, we have the drinking machine. Meaning to say, if you afford, you can get a cleaner water for yourself, for your family, right? You can take good care of your health and your kidney. You can jaga your kidney already. What about those in villages? What about
Yes.
those in squatters that can't afford to rent or purchase any drinking machine? Are they supposed to how to say, ditakdirkan untuk minum air yang tidak bersih? Is it
Yeah.
this is what they should face for the rest of their life, right? So I think from the government, from the Perbandaran side, they can do better than this. Routine maintenance, replace all the pipelines, provide better quality water quality for all the residents here, increase the water pressure. Else you will need to install pump. You need to install pump for your equipments, everything in the house. This is one thing. Another thing is, I mean, for the rapid growth and the developments here in Tupong, that will relate or link to a poor drainage system. Right? Developer, when they come, they acquire a big piece of land, they will build the structure there, and they will build their own drainage system. What about the main drainage? The main drainage is not their responsibility, right? So whatever uh, poorly planned drainage system will lead to congestion. Like the unplanned drainage will have overflow when there too much rain here, right? So it's very sometimes banjir kilat berlaku lah, right? Flash floods, everything happen when heavy rains, heavy downpours ongoing. So this is what happened in Tupong. A lot of things to be done. I think all those things leads to we need to have a proper management from the local councils to have proper guidelines for every developers to follow, right? So this is from everyone. It's not just from one side.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's quite frustrating when you have enough water rains, but the water quality is poor and low pressure. I mean, if it's a dry piece of land, I mean, you say yes, it's dry. The weather is dry, but then you have ample supply of water, good water supply. Yet it's browny. It's dangerous to consume. I think it's a lot of it cause health definitely.
Yeah.
And I think for all the YBs that's under this constitution or other surrounding constitution have to work or pressure the authorities and say that's a reserve. The funding reserve is there in the state. It should be put into good, wise use because water. I mean, every one of us, the water contents of our body is the highest. Right, we can go without food for a few days, but we can't go without water for a few days.
That's why Melvin susah nak puasa. I dah ajak dia nak puasa bulan depan. I don't think he can actually do it. Saja joking aside, Melvin. I'm so sorry. But okay, we are actually running a bit out of time, but I do want to give the last note to Jeff on this
So
show
fast?
on YB. Yeah, so fast because we're having so much fun here talking to, expressing all of the concerns that's specifically happening in your area, which is Tupong. On the last note that we want to hear from you is that given the chance, given the opportunity for you to lead the people of Tupong, being the adun over there in the next coming Pilihan Raya Negeri Sarawak next time around, how do you see Tupong in your eyes in becoming better, in becoming the way that it should be? Silakan.
Okay, thank you. All right. I mean, for the people of Tupong and for my parliamentary Putrajaya, we need to think about it because we have spent, I think, 20, 30 years here. And we've been talking about greater developments, greater infrastructures that the current, the current incumbents or anyone that can provide. But along the period or along the time I stayed here until today, I think same goes to others, residents in Tupong and Putrajaya. We will have the same perceptions. There are never one YB or a calon or candidate talk about the basic necessities or the basic problems or the root of the problems or how to solve it. Like what I mentioned just now. It's very simple, it's very basic about water, about drainage system, about traffic congestion, and about the development and the economic gap between villages, squatters, and the people here. So I don't think a lot of people dare to talk about this because it is not something that very great. You won't look very smart if you talk about this in your manifesto. But in Tupong and in Parliament Putrajaya, these are the basic issues, and it's very critical for us, and we need to get it done by today. And by next PRU or PRN, we need to focus on this and not about anything else. Let's get back to the basic of the problem. I mean, we need to create a lot of equality and fairness to the people. For Tupong, a lot of us are from working class and from B40, right? So why not we select someone, a YB that can really represent them and can represent their voice and can voice out their concerns in the Dun and in the Parliament. Why don't we do that this time? Yeah.
All right. I can already see the tagline over here from Jeffery Ngui, getting back to basics. I dah nampak dah ya tagline tu. So you kena bayar I sebab I dah cipta dah you punya slogan tu. Melvin, last word from you.
Okay, we all know that the state election Sarawak was done recently, not too long ago. Jeffrey, would you contest in the coming G15 if it's called for? As an MP, not as a tune.
Ya, Melvin, semoga segala urusan dipermudahkan lah.
Amin ya rabbal alamin. Itu dia. Nampak sangat Jeffrey banyak lepak dengan orang Melayu sebenarnya ni. Dia punya ayat-ayat tu semua dah diguna pakai standard orang Melayu ni. But whatever it is, Jeff, seriously, we would like to thank you so much for spending your time with us in wanting to make Tupong a better place and thus wanting to make Sarawak a better place and thus making Malaysia as well superb going forward. And with people such as yourself, we do hope that Malaysia will have a much brighter future moving forward. Thanks so much, Jeffrey, for your time.
Thanks,
Jeffery Ngui. And we hope to see you in Parliament. Is that too early to say? No.
It's never too early.
Yeah, it's never
Semoga
too early.
segalanya dipermudahkan.
Yes, betul.
Okay.
Amin.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Thanks for your time. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Yes. Take care, Jeffrey.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
Mia. Thank you,
sharing with
Melvin.
us.
Thank you,
Alright,
Ekmal.
bye.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Okay, that was Jeffrey Ngui together with us on YB Sari. Very, very impressive, Melvin, I have to say.
Yes, I think we know we didn't need to travel, but we know so much now about at least Tupong. Right. I
Itulah.
think
So sekarang,
I think and now wish everyone's in Tupong a good have a good living, a good standard living, improve the social economic, social issues, and we will be there soon. I believe we'll be and now we'll be in Sarawak soon.
yep, that's the hope, that's the dream. All right, that's all for now, folks, on our Monday edition of Hot Issue What's for Lunch YB Sehari. Hope you guys catch us back again next coming Wednesday for another edition of Hot Issue What's for Lunch. Melvin Lam, Mio Adan here signing out. Take care, guys. Happy
Take
lunching.
care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.